What if I told you this? In today's world, being the nicest guy, the funniest guy, or even the most attractive guy often isn't enough. Because here's the truth, she has options. More options than ever. And if you don't know how to stand out, you simply become background noise. Now imagine this. Her phone is buzzing with notifications. Dozens of men like her pictures, slide into her messages, and compete for her attention. Some send long texts, others show off with gifts or bold gestures. From the outside, it seems impossible to stand out in that storm. So here's the question every man secretly asks himself. With so many options around her, why would she ever choose me? The answer might surprise you. Women don't always choose the loudest voice, the flashiest style, or the one chasing them hardest. What they notice, what makes them pause, is something rare. A kind of energy that feels calm, steady, and grounded. They choose the man who radiates calm strength, who carries himself with quiet certainty, who doesn't collapse under pressure. This is where Stoicism enters the picture. Stoicism isn't about being cold or distant. It's about presence. It's about being a man who doesn't need to prove his worth in every second, because his actions and composure already speak for him. When you embody Stoic principles, you create a kind of gravity. While other men chase, you hold your ground. While others scramble for attention, you radiate calm. And in that stillness, something powerful happens. She starts to notice you. In this video, we'll explore how women choose when they have endless options, why most men fail these hidden tests, and how Stoic wisdom can make you unforgettable and chosen. Section 1. When women have many options. Women today are surrounded by attention. Compliments flood their social media. Messages pile up in their inboxes. At parties, men line up to impress them. From the outside, it looks like paradise. But inside, it creates a different effect. Choice overload. When every man is trying to stand out by chasing, competing, or proving himself, the experience becomes noisy. Most men blend into the same category, eager, reactive, trying too hard. What she secretly longs for is contrast, something different. That's where you come in. A man who doesn't rush, doesn't beg, doesn't compete for scraps of attention, instantly feels rare. You're no longer one of many, you're the exception. The Stoics knew this feeling well. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily not to be carried away by the crowd, but to live with reason and principle. In love, the same applies. Don't dissolve into the sea of approval seekers. Stand firm in who you are. Women don't remember the man who shouted loudest. They remember the one who didn't need to shout at all. Section 2. The power of calm confidence. What separates you from the crowd isn't volume or flashiness, it's calm. Confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about steadiness. Imagine she cancels a date last minute. Most men either blow up in anger or rush to reschedule, signaling desperation. But the Stoic man? He acknowledges it calmly, continues with his day, and doesn't allow one cancellation to rattle him. That composure speaks volumes. It tells her, this man values himself. He doesn't rise and fall with my moods. He is centered in his own world. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you embody that truth, women sense it immediately. They test you with small frustrations. Do you lose your balance, or do you remain steady? Every calm response builds respect. Confidence here isn't about showing off muscles or bragging about achievements. It's about showing you cannot be easily shaken. And in a world full of fragile egos, that is magnetic. Section 3. Tests and challenges. If a woman senses you might be different, she will often test you. Not to hurt you, but to see what you're made of. She may tease you, delay a reply, or question your intentions. Many men collapse here, becoming defensive, needy, or insecure. But every test is an opportunity. The Stoic man doesn't see challenges as insults. He sees them as mirrors. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So if she pulls back, you don't chase harder. You give space. If she jokes at your expense, you don't sulk, you smile and respond playfully. If she questions your path, you don't crumble, you stand firm in your purpose. These tests separate the men who only want validation from the men who live by principle. And women instinctively know. The man who passes these tests is also the man who can weather storms in life. Remember, she's not looking for perfection. She's looking for proof that you don't fall apart when challenged. Pass that test and you'll rise to the top in her eyes, and eventually she'll choose you. Section 4. The Stoic Secret in Love, Detach from Outcomes. Here's one of the deepest truths. The more desperate you are to be chosen, the less likely you will be. Why? Because desperation repels. Stoicism teaches detachment, not from people but from outcomes. You can love, care, and invest in someone without clinging to a specific result. If she chooses you, you're grateful. If she doesn't, you remain whole. This mindset flips the script. Instead of asking, am I good enough for her? You live in a way that makes her ask, am I good enough for him? Think of Epictetus' wisdom. Focus only on what is in your control. You can't control whether she ultimately chooses you. You can control your integrity, your discipline, your presence. Ironically, when you release the need for control, you gain influence. So the secret is this: stop trying to force choice and start living so well that choosing you becomes her natural instinct. Section 5. Real safety and true attraction. At the core, women don't stay with the man who excites them for a moment. They stay with the man who makes them feel safe. And safety here is not just physical. It's emotional stability, spiritual grounding, and a sense of peace. A man who panics at rejection, who collapses when left on read, who begs for reassurance, he cannot offer safety. But a man who has his own mission, his own discipline, his own steady energy, that man feels like a shelter in the storm. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his passions." When you free yourself from emotional chaos, you become the rarest thing in her world, a calm center. This safety is not boring, it is irresistible. Because in a sea of instability, women are drawn to the man whose presence feels like home. So build that home within yourself, and soon she'll want to step inside. Conclusion: the man worth choosing. In the end, the man who gets chosen is not the one who chases hardest, competes most, or begs loudest. He's the man who leads himself first. The man who radiates calm, who embraces challenges, who doesn't cling to outcomes, who builds a steady world around him. Women, when faced with many options, don't choose fireworks that burn out. They choose the rare flame that endures through storms, and that rare flame is lit by stoic strength. So ask yourself, are you living in a way that makes you the man worth choosing? If she had to decide today, would your presence feel like safety? Your life feel like purpose? Your love feel like peace? Reflect on that. And if this message sparked something in you, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. If you found value here, join us at Stoic Wisdom today. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and keep walking this path where ancient philosophy meets modern relationships. Because in the end, the calm man, the grounded man, the stoic man, is always the one worth choosing. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, stay stoic.